Raise your hand if you've ever felt attacked, victimized, hunted down by TikTok Shop. Today we are trying out viral activewear items from TikTok Shop. I'm sure you've seen some of these. We have some tummy controlled leggings, some BBL jackets, some bodysuits, and more. For my first experience trying TikTok Shop, I figured it should be something that I know very well, which is activewear. And we'll also be answering some common questions about TikTok Shop. Is it legit? Am I getting scammed? Are these just drop shipped items? So stay tuned. Even as a content creator myself who reviews items, who recommends things to you guys, I just feel like there's such a difference between someone posting about something they like on Instagram, on YouTube, and then on TikTok via TikTok Shop. Every single post I come across on TikTok Shop, I've just never seen someone so desperate to sell me something. It just always feels so dishonest, like they're lying, and I just don't know why I get that feeling so much more than something like YouTube or Instagram, even when there are ads there. Maybe it's because they're just so in your face about the earns commission, which the transparency is definitely appreciated, but something about it, I just can't put my finger on it. If you guys get the same feeling, or if you feel like you know, definitely leave it in the comments down below. But anyways, it seemed like enough people that I knew had ordered from TikTok Shop at this point that I knew I was at least going to get something and not have my credit card information stolen. Actually, I bought all of this with Apple Pay, so I didn't even have to enter my credit card information, which was really nice because then at least I knew, even if something was a little bit sketchy, it wasn't gonna be stolen. So if you've never come across TikTok Shop, as you're scrolling on TikTok, occasionally you'll get a video of someone talking about an item and it'll say eligible for commission. And now there's a whole tab on TikTok. It's there's the following feed, the shop feed, and then the For You page. So the shop feed is literally all just TikTok Shop. It's all items you can just buy on TikTok. It feels a lot like AliExpress. It's a lot of individual sellers selling items, and TikTok just kind of fulfills the purchase. Items are usually a lot cheaper on TikTok Shop than other platforms, which I just don't know how long they can sustain this. I've heard that TikTok themselves are subsidizing this so that they get more people to buy on TikTok Shop. Actually, when I placed this order, I repurchased one of my favorite moisturizers, which is the Pharmacy Honey Halo, because I had a 50% off TikTok Shop coupon, and I literally bought it and it was shipped through Pharmacy and everything. And Pharmacy has never given 50% off. So the fact that TikTok is paying for these discounts, I just wonder how long this can last. So questions we will answer today. Are these products actually cheaper than you can find them on other websites? Again, for the most part, yes, like we were saying before, TikTok has been subsidizing these, but I will compare all of the items, the price I bought on TikTok Shop compared to Amazon, their own website, anywhere else you can buy them. Are they legitimate quality products, or is this kind of just trash you can buy on the internet? Do they have returns? I still need to figure this one out. So we'll figure that out together. And then how is the shipping? If you're used to something like Amazon, obviously very fast shipping, but as someone who used to order a good amount on AliExpress, I used to wait upwards of 2 months for some products. I will say everything today came within 2 weeks, so I consider that pretty good, especially because one of them was definitely just shipped directly from China. First of all, for the order experience, ordering on TikTok Shop, it's all through the app. You literally just go click on something on TikTok Shop. You can add a bunch of different sellers to the cart, and then it takes you to a checkout page, but you're still in the app. I've never actually bought anything on Instagram, but I have bought something from a link from Instagram, and then it takes you to a different website. Anyways, TikTok Shop was definitely very minimal resistance to actually purchasing. Literally, it could be done within a few clicks, which I feel is why it can be so dangerous. And then it hits you with a lot of discounts. Oh, would you like to apply this coupon? Oh, would you like to apply this coupon? So they definitely are trying to entice you to buy. It'll say oh, coupon expires in 24 hours, but it never does. You'll get another one. I used Apple Pay, so I didn't even have to enter a credit card. All of my items came in under 2 weeks, so a little bit faster than something like AliExpress, a little bit slower than most Amazon products. And then all of the items actually came in the packaging from the brand itself. So it seems like TikTok is just kind of the middleman fulfilling these orders, but you're still getting the item shipped from the company you're buying it from. When I bought my Pharmacy moisturizer, it came in a Pharmacy box. I got an email from Pharmacy. So honestly, overall, pretty seamless process. I will say TikTok Shop has been around for a while. I just resisted it for so long. This is my first experience. But without further ado, let's start trying some of the pieces. So some of these I have not even opened yet, so we're gonna be kind of experiencing that together. So first, let's try a brand that we have tried on this channel before, so I'm already a little bit familiar with them, which is Halara. Halara is always on TikTok Shop, and and it's usually for these like tummy control leggings. So let's try those. So I got 2 leggings from Halara. The first ones are definitely the most viral ones. These are the SoCinched high-waisted tummy control leggings. I got my normal Halara size, which is small. And on TikTok Shop, I paid $20.55. I will say their website usually has some sort of discount, but the price that they're selling for currently on the website is $29.95. So these are a pretty good percentage cheaper on TikTok Shop. So anyways, I always see videos of people wearing these and talking about how much tummy control they have and just how flattering they are in the front. I have to say I've tried a good amount of stuff from Halara. I love their dresses. I think they do an amazing job on the dresses, constantly innovating. They have that easy peasy feature, which is super cool. They also have different lengths, different like bust sizes, just things like that. I have not been super impressed with the leggings in the past, so we'll see how these go. So first things first, the tummy control of these leggings. They have a sandwich styled waistband. So they have 2 layers of fabric with like a power mesh on the inside, kind of keep everything kind of contained in the front. It also looks like the front waistband does dip down a good amount in the front too, which definitely helps with lower tummy control. We do have no front seam, which I like. A very small little gusset here. I will say the rest of the fabric feels pretty thin. I feel like if you're wanting a tummy control fabric, you're kind of expecting like just an overall kind of compressive legging. But if that's not what you're looking for, you just want the tummy control, then this literally only has this power mesh area, this kind of stiffer fabric only in this front panel. It's not even on like the back waistband or anything. And then the waistband in the back, you can see it kind of tapers a little bit around the glutes. The fabric is pretty thin elsewhere. I'm okay with the thin fabric as long as it's not like a saggy thin fabric. So we'll see how this goes. We do have 2 side pockets as well. And then I think they also come in multiple lengths. That is something I appreciate about Halara, is that they normally have like a couple lengths of their leggings. So let's give these a try. So here we have the SoCinched leggings. So first of all, fabric feel. They're a very lightly brushed fabric. So the inside is not brushed. The inside is sleek, and then the outside is slightly brushed. So that being said, I kind of just prefer when companies, you know, brush both inside and outside, because when the inside is not brushed, that makes them a little bit more slippery on the inside, so they can slide down a little more. That being said, with the waistband being compressive in this legging, sliding down is probably not going to be an issue. Overall, I feel like the feel of the fabric is nice. It's about a light to medium compression overall, but it's not saggy. So I believe they call it the power hold fabric, something like that. Personally, I wouldn't be calling this a power hold fabric because that would imply, you know, a lot of hold, compression, and this is just really not giving a lot of compression. It does give a lot of stretch though. So I like that we have no front seam here. I also checked this does come in a 7/8 and a full length legging. I did buy the full length. They're a little bit more like an ankle on me, but I'll show the full view in a second. So I'm kind of between an extra small and a medium in their size chart. That being said, my waist is about 26 and a half, and that falls in the extra small, and then my hips are like 38 to 39, and that falls into medium. So I went with a small here, and I actually have some extra space in the waist, so I'm not getting any compression in the tummy area. So I would really follow the size chart if you're looking for that tummy compression here. Make sure you're buying the size where your waist actually fits in, because I'm not really getting any of the hold that this is supposed to provide because of the little sizing discrepancy there. I can already hear the comments, why are you even trying these? You don't need the lower tummy compression, things like that. Sometimes it feels nice. We all have our days, okay? And even though I do have like visible abs, there are definitely other body types that you can find in these leggings. I'm just reviewing it how I feel. And I definitely feel like if these were in the proper size for my waist, I would definitely feel some hold out of them. I like how low these dip down. I feel like a lot of compressive waistbands fail to kind of do that dipping down that really is going to provide the lower tummy control. And I definitely can feel more resistance to me pulling out here than me pulling out lower in the fabric here where there's just one layer. So it definitely has that extra layer there. The waistband is a little bit tapered. We have a high rise. And then we go to the back, we have those glute seams. I don't feel like it's really enhancing the glutes a whole lot, but it's also not squishing them down. So we'll go with a solid medium on the booty scale. Because this fabric isn't super thick or brushed, I honestly don't think you're going to be getting a lot of cellulite coverage. So I really wouldn't say these are the most cellulite friendly. We do have those side pockets, which is also nice. And then here's the full length view, kind of just right above the ankle for me. So I'll of course list the inseam measurement at the end, but I am pretty tall, so this is kind of like how most leggings fit on me. So overall, love the idea of these leggings. I just think they run a little bit bigger in the waist than most other Halara leggings. Usually I don't have any extra space in the fabric, and if we're really trying to like hold in this tummy area, I would expect just it to be a little bit smaller. And I would also expect a little bit more compression under the leg area, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, just depends on your preferences. So I I feel like these are pretty good. The second pair of Halara leggings, I don't know if I've really seen these too much, but I honestly was just curious to try them because I bought these for literally $10.70 on TikTok Shop. On their website, they go for $24.95, so the TikTok Shop is literally less than half the price. Again, I just don't understand how long TikTok can really be doing this for. And then when the prices go up on TikTok Shop, I'm not just gonna be like tempted to buy them there over someone else's website. I don't know. So these are the Softlyzero crossover pocket leggings. Again, I got them in a size small. So this definitely feels like a lightweight, soft fabric, but it's lightweight and soft all the way around. We have a crossover waistband that kind of dips down in the front. We have side pockets. Halara loves to put pockets on their leggings, which personally, I'm not always looking for a pocket legging, but I know some of you guys literally won't wear leggings if they don't have a pocket. These also seem like a decent length. And then some tapered seams in the back. So far, everything looks pretty good, except you can see where they sewed the tearaway tag in here. If you see right there, there's like an extra little seam in there. That little seam is going to stay even after you rip out the tearaway tag. And I definitely feel like you can see it on the back, like even holding it up from afar, you can just see a little extra stitched area. I'm really nitpicking here, but let's try it on. All right, so here are Halara leggings number 2. So already we can see on this one, the waistband is perfectly fine. Normally I don't have an issue in a size small waistbands not fitting me. So I just definitely feel like the last ones just ran a little bit big in the waist, which is just kind of counterintuitive given that they're trying to be compressive in the waist. Anyways, we have this nice crossover waist. It's definitely a high rise. We're getting a little peek of belly button here, but the rest of the waistband does sit right at or slightly above my natural waist. So I'm liking the rise of these. We have no front seam. This is a true crossover waist. There's no top band. It does kind of dip down in the front here and you have extra layers of fabric. So this actually gives a little bit of lower tummy control as well. Definitely not going to be as much as the power mesh in the other one. Overall, these are a very thin, sleek performance material. So again, not saggy, like they're still kind of hugging to my figure, but they definitely are a little bit on the sleek, shiny side, which is a thing that I find a lot of more affordable brands doing. They're not doing that soft brushed fabric. And I love a performance legging when it has its time and place. But for me, for these being kind of more of like a lighter weight lounge legging and then having these side pockets, the sleek material definitely feels like it could slide down. And then having those pockets, you never want to put really a lot of weight into a legging that's already kind of sleek and is going to be having trouble staying up. So I would be a little bit concerned with how well these stay up. We go to the back here and very similar structure to the last leggings. We just have that seam right above the glutes. Again, it's not really enhancing, but also not really taking away. So just a solid medium on the booty scale. Probably looks worse when I have that tag in there. But yeah, just nothing too crazy. And then again, probably not a lot of cellulite coverage in these as well, just because it is pretty thin and not super compressive. Overall compression on these is even less than the last ones. I would say these are a light compression. These also had 2 lengths going on, so still hits me kind of right above the ankle. Actually, they have 3 lengths. I think they have like a capri, a 7/8, and a full length, which I just prefer if they list the inseams instead of saying 7/8 and full length, because it's going to be a different length on everyone. We all have different length legs. So for me, I would consider these, they're like almost full length, maybe a tiny bit short, but really not too bad. So overall, Halara on TikTok Shop, definitely legitimate items. These are definitely the same feel and quality of Halara that I have experienced in the past. I like Halara for leggings, don't love them. I definitely love them more like for dresses. But if I saw something that I wanted from Halara and it was significantly cheaper on TikTok Shop, I would probably buy it on TikTok Shop. So let's try on something else. Next thing we are trying the viral active jackets on TikTok Shop. These jackets are what inspired this video because I cannot get away from these ads. It's just all of these people just advertising these jackets and they're like, oh, you could buy your morning coffee or you could buy this active jacket for the same price. Like that is all people want to compare it to. They're like, oh, it's the price of your morning coffee. It's just an interesting way to be advertising something. It's almost like they were all fed the same information to be like selling this. And it's never like influencers that I've seen consistently on TikTok. That's what feels so weird. It's like these people that I've never seen before on my For You page suddenly just like desperate to sell me these products. So these are the viral $3 active jackets. Yes, they're literally $3. And this is from the brand YKSaix. I don't know, it has an X. I don't know if it's like French or whatever. And when I bought these, I immediately received a notification that these were being shipped directly from China. And they definitely came in a package that's very similar to what you get from something like AliExpress, Alibaba. So this is where we introduce the concept of drop shipping. If you're unfamiliar with drop shipping, this is when a company basically acts as like the middleman between a distributor or a manufacturer, usually based in China, China, like somewhere where they're just producing a lot of items. And then they're kind of the middleman there who's advertising this to you, and then you buy it and then they get it from them and then ship it to you. So the company you're buying it from is not unique. It's not designing these products. It's not creating these products. They are simply just selling it to you. And we have talked about dropshipping on this channel before, also kind of in the context of like white labeling, which is a little bit different, but it's something that definitely bothers me, especially with Instagram brands who are selling these items at really high prices when it's clear they had no role in designing or really anything about the product. They're just like selling things that they bought from a manufacturer who already made them. But dropshipping is not always bad, especially when you want this item and there's a lot of people selling the same item and you can find the same thing for a very cheap price. Like you are not getting this jacket for under the price that these are selling it for. I think they sold them for 2 different prices, but one of them I bought for $3.25. The other one I bought for $4.85. So in this case, you're not finding this for any cheaper. It also didn't take that long to come to me considering it was shipped from overseas. So now that we have talked a little bit about dropshipping, I'm interested to see how these are. A lot of people are calling these like BBL jackets, obviously comparing them to Lululemon, and I cannot tell you as an activewear reviewer how exhausted I am hearing everyone compare things to Lululemon all the time. They're not the only ones who have jackets at this point. I'm just tired of the comparison, especially when it's just not true at all. It's like been like reborn as a concept on TikTok Shop to compare things to Lululemon, when it's like, if you've been around the block on YouTube, you know that this is what everyone did in like 2015. So it's old news for us. I can't believe that people still fall for it, because if you ordered this thinking it was going to be like Lululemon, I'm truly sorry, because this is a $3 jacket. It's not going to be like Lululemon. It does cost Lululemon more than $3 to make their items, even though I'm sure they have very high profit margins. Anyways, I got a size small and a medium because I just wasn't sure how snug they were going to be. They looked very tight on people. The whole concept of a BBL jacket is basically a jacket that kind of like really snatches you in, compresses you, and really just like makes you look snatched. So some days I don't want to be that snatched. Another key sign of a dropshipped item is that there's no tags or logos like anywhere. Like there's nothing on this jacket that tells me it was sold by the brand that I bought it for. Anyways, first impressions of the jacket is I'm hard pressed to call this a jacket. It really is more of a shirt with a zipper, which is fine if you're just looking for a light layer. It's a sleek performance lightweight material, so very thin, breathable. It does have a mock neck, and I also like that it appears that the length of this, it's not going to be super long. It looks like it's going to be about hip length, which is my preferred jacket length. I think it's very flattering. It's not overwhelming, but it's still not cropped. This does have some little seam details down the front. It is a full zip, and they do have thumb holes, which is great, but there are no pockets or anything like that. So again, very much like a shirt. So let's try these on. They don't feel bad. They just feel not like a jacket. All right, I think this is the small. Oh, did we finally find a tag? Yes, okay. 100% polyester. There's no way. This is 100% polyester. This definitely has spandex in it. This just goes to show you cannot trust these tags. They probably just literally threw in any random tag they could find. So this is the small, which is kind of my normal size I would get in an active jacket. Ooh, this is very stretchy. So the fabric is a lightweight sleek performance. I was really worried. I often worry about this in active jackets just because I do have, you know, somewhat muscular arms. I don't like it to be super tight on my arms. I find it to be very uncomfortable. And this is not as tight as I was expecting. I thought it would be very suffocating, so that is good to know. It still is very lightweight, more like a shirt material. And then this is it without tying it up. So we have that mock neck, hits around the level of the hips, which I find very nice. When you don't zip it up, it just kind of falls open like this. And yeah, just a little bit of a looser style. So let's zip it up for the full BBL effect. Okay, so definitely feeling the compression in this one in the size small. So it hits me right above the hip bones, which overlaps with my leggings a little bit here. So I consider this the perfect length. It really does feel more like a shirt. Oh, peach. We have our first guest appearance. One benefit of this fabric is it is pet fur resistant because it's nice and sleek, so the pet fur just kind of flies right off. So I'm able to pick up Peach and not worry about it because she's been shedding. Yeah, I literally have like no pet fur on this. That's nice. As I was saying, definitely a snug fit here, but because the fabric is so stretchy and lightweight, it really doesn't feel like I'm being completely suffocated. A jacket that I would say that is similar to this, that actually has more of like a jacket feel, like more thickness, would be the Camo Fitness Serenity Nyla jacket. That one has compression and really like feels like you're wearing a jacket. This one is more like a top, but we have these flattering seams. It's definitely giving that BBL effect, especially when it hits right at the hips here. Just a very flattering silhouette. We do have that mock neck, not too tight against the neck here, but I will say this is where the sleeves hit me and the thumb holes are like halfway up my arm. So if I wanted to use the thumb holes here, I can, but it's definitely causing a lot of tension. I've seen brands do this before where they like put in a thumb hole, but not actually make the sleeve any longer so that it actually goes to your thumb. I don't have like the longest arms. I mean, I am tall, but I don't have like the longest limbs. So these thumb holes are probably not super functional. So let's try on the medium. Okay, so as I'm putting on this medium, I'm realizing that these are two entirely different jackets, and that is not clear when you're buying them. They are sold as like the same item, and I'm pretty sure this one was $1 more. Oh my god, this one has zip pockets. Okay, I guess I'm reviewing two different jackets, which is crazy. So jacket number one, basically more of a shirt, super lightweight, barely functional thumb holes, no pockets, etc. Jacket number two has much more of a cuff sleeve, so it has a separate sewn cuff onto the end, and the thumb hole is actually long enough for me to use. It's still lightweight, but it actually does feel just like a tiny bit thicker than the other one. The length looks like it's going to be a tiny bit longer. The zipper definitely feels a little bit more sturdy here. Keep in mind this is a medium, so if I got the small it would be a lot more snug, but we actually have pockets on this one. Fully lined pockets, like literally has like mesh lining and everything. This is like actually kind of crazy for $4. I have purchased a lot of affordable activewear in the day. I've had a lot of flops. I just ordered a bunch of stuff recently for an Amazon review, and literally like this was like a $30 dress, and do you see how flimsy and awful this is? This jacket was $4, and this is actually like really like fine quality. Is it Lululemon? No, but you're not expecting that for $4. Like, let's be serious. Very impressed with this version. So I guess you just have to be kind of careful which one you're buying. Maybe I didn't like look enough. These were under the same like item. Like when you go to the TikTok shop, I said blue, I wanted a small, and white, I wanted a medium, and it was all under the same thing. So it wasn't like a separate product page. So part of the risk of, I guess, TikTok shop is who knows what you're getting. Anyways, we have that mock neck. This one also has a little extra layer of fabric that kind of covers the zipper at the top to just kind of protect your skin against that zipper, which is again something we didn't see on the other jacket. We do have a little bit more seam detail. This one definitely has a little bit more going on. Still a lightweight, soft, sleek performance material, but it's a little bit thicker. This one I'm definitely feeling a little bit more like a jacket. It ends a little bit lower on my hips, like a little bit past my hip bones here, but still fully covering everything and not being super long. You can see lifting my arms up, we're still not really showing any skin. And then in the back, oh my gosh, do we have a vented area? This is crazy, guys. This was $1 more than the other one, and we have so many more features. Yeah, we even have like a, oh wait, it's like a faux vent. False alarm, this is not a real vented area. The Lululemon Define jacket has like an extra layer with like mesh underneath that kind of acts as like a vented layer to like give you a little bit of breathability. This one doesn't have that, but it's also not as thick as the Lululemon one, so you don't really need as much venting. Okay, so anyways, this one I would say true to size. If you do want a fit that's more like this, where you could maybe layer a shirt underneath, I would size up. But if you want that snug BBL style fit, true to size. And I love that the thumb holes are actually usable on this one. So okay, TikTok shop, these may be drop shipped, but where else are you getting them for $3 to $4? And it's really not a bad jacket. So honestly, I would typically pay like $30 for this on Amazon. So this is pretty good. Okay, TikTok shop, I'm a little bit impressed. I should also say, even though these are thinner fabrics, I haven't seen any like loose seams or any like glaring quality issues that I've seen in like some other like more affordable items in the past. So honestly, the quality you're getting is really not that bad, but I expect that there are still some bad quality things out there on TikTok shop. So you're just kind of playing a little guessing game of what you're gonna get. Next, we're trying the viral flared jumpsuit. So this is from the brand Qinsen. I've seen them on Amazon before, so that's where we'll be comparing the price. But I've seen several viral jumpsuits on TikTok. This is the one I went with. Did I go with a flare? Yeah, I went with a flare. So I got a size small, and this was $33.29. So honestly, not the cheapest for TikTok shop, considering everything else has been like around 20-ish or below. And on Amazon, you can find it for $34.99. So you're not saving a lot of money on this one by buying from TikTok shop. I did recently do a whole video on active jumpsuits, which are probably going to be better than this one because I'm already just not really feeling this quality. Anyways, we have a jumpsuit with a tank strap. It's got this like squared neckline, which I feel like on all the models, it looks super flattering, but you can definitely tell here, this is very flimsy. Unfortunately, there's no sort of built-in bra or anything here, so you are going to need support elsewhere. Fortunately, there's no seams going down the front here, and this is a flared jumpsuit, so it does have that little flare at the end. I believe this only came in one length, so it's probably going to be a little bit short for me. I'm 5'9", so normally I need a tall length, and oftentimes these jumpsuits don't come in multiple lengths. This is a full coverage on the back. A lot of the jumpsuits I've seen have like a really scooping back or like a scrunch in the back. Again, I have kind of tried something like that on my other video. But yeah, this whole thing is also lined with this like mesh that I'm just like not really sure about. So we'll see how comfortable that is. So this is quite poorly fitting for me. Really, it's a height problem, which can be expected, but I tried on a lot of active bodysuits for that one video and most of them fit my height. So the first issue here is that we have this very low square neckline here, and everyone has a different shaped bust. I'm more of like a teardrop shape, so this kind of super low square is just a recipe for me to fall out at any movement. So I'm gonna have to be very careful right now because we are seconds away from a wardrobe malfunction. I do think the neckline is super elegant and pretty, but it needs to be up like literally 4 more inches. Like we need a lot more coverage here. So again, kind of a torso issue, but also like this is a lot of stretch. Like it really shouldn't be that bad. Anyways, overall fabric is a sleek performance. We'll see again that like it's just very rare to find cheaper things that don't have a sleek performance. Like everything is sleek performance. Very wide set straps here. There's no built-in bra or anything. I'm being pretty, you know, squeezed right now, so I'm not necessarily getting no support, but given how low cut this is for me, it's not something that I would be able to work out in. I also noticed that this has 0 gusset to it, so could be a little bit uncomfortable in the crotch. If you're unfamiliar with a gusset, that's that little piece of fabric that kind of goes between the seams at the bottom, just so it doesn't all like want to go up into the camel area. So actually the mesh lining is totally fine here. I just wished it had some sort of layer underneath, some sort of built-in bra, or at least some removable cups, something like that, because it's really more considered like an active jumpsuit, so I would expect some sort of, you know, built-in bra. We go to the back and it is full coverage in the back. We have a seam up the back. There's nothing really to like break up the back area, it just like is all very long. I do have a little bit of extra fabric right at the bottom here, so that's another reason why I don't necessarily like trust this to really fit many people. It's so tight on the bust, it's loose there, it's tight on the straps, like it's just not great. Okay, and then we can see the bottom here, hopefully, and it is very short. It is very awkward on me. And these are definitely more of a boot cut flare. I think that they should be a little bit more flared almost, but for my taller girlies, this is not going to be for us. The quality overall honestly doesn't feel too bad. Like the fabric feels about like a medium compression. I have like one loose little stitch here, but normally that's just like something you cut off and it doesn't happen again. So yeah, it's not something that's flattering my body shape personally, and I think it's lacking some features like, you know, a little more detail in the back, a gusset, a built-in bra, and you know, when you add all of that together for like $30 to $35 is what this is, there are better jumpsuits out there. This is not the one I would go for. It's really just okay. So if you're really feeling her, you know, you could give it a try. It's not horrible, but I think there's a lot better options out there for a similar price. And one more item, I didn't actually see this directly on TikTok Shop, like on my For You page, but I did see it under the shop page. But this is the Aoxjox Satara Bra, and you guys know I have tried Aoxjox multiple times on this channel. I think they are one of the better Amazon activewear brands. They're always coming out with a lot of cute styles, and I wanted to try this because it was literally $11. And Aoxjox on Amazon has gotten a little bit pricier. This one on Amazon was listed as $26. So you're getting it for under half the price. And I can tell you just holding this up, like the tag is the same as normal Aoxjox tags. The fabric is that same like thicker brushed material. I don't know if I've tried this exact bra from Aoxjox, but I have tried many of these bras, and this is definitely the exact same as what you're getting on Amazon. So if you can buy it for half the price on TikTok Shop, like why not? At least while they're offering these discounts. So this bra is super cute. It's definitely not going to be the most supportive, but it has a little twist front detail here. The straps on this one are actually nice and thick for a more delicate looking bra like this. So they have thick elastic straps, a little strap across the back, and there are removable cup pads. And the front is like an actual twist, so you have to make sure that it stays twisted. So let's try this on. All right, here's the bra. And for one of these little twisted bras, honestly, a pretty good fit. I definitely have some spillage here and there. For me, being around like a 32 double D, that's like kind of expected for my experience in these bras. But I still feel like I'd be comfortable doing some low impact activity in this bra. So we have that little twist detail in the front. We do have cup pads, which I love. This bra is supposed to be like kind of similar to like a crop shop boutique bra that has this twist, and those bras did not have cup pads, at least the last time I tried them. So I love that Aoxjox puts these in. I also think the Aoxjox material is really nice for bras because it's a little bit more dense, a little bit more compressive, so it just gives it a little bit more hold. Super flattering with the twist detail in the front. Overall coverage, I would say low to medium. And then in the back, we have those thicker straps. I think the thicker straps make such a big difference with this bra. So we do have that elastic across the back and the two across here. They're a little bit snug, but they're nice and thick and soft, so they're really not uncomfortable. And then the support is a light support. So this being half the price of Amazon, I would definitely buy this on TikTok Shop. I think Aoxjox has great stuff, so it's really nice that you can find them for a little bit cheaper for however long that's going to be happening for. Yeah, this isn't your most supportive sports bra, but it's definitely cute, fun, and it was $11, so pretty good. Okay, that is everything I got. So overall, I'd say my first TikTok Shop experience was not that bad. Nothing was like atrocious quality or anything. That being said, I did buy things that like had a lot of purchases, had a lot of reviews out there, but I feel like I just couldn't really fully trust what was going on with like how heavily these were being advertised. So I'd say TikTok Shop, definitely legit. I got everything that I ordered. I didn't have to put in my credit card information, so security wasn't really a risk. You can definitely buy from stores you already shop from Amazon or their own website, from TikTok Shop, and probably get a cheaper price, at least while TikTok is kind of like subsidizing it. But I guess you just do have to be careful exactly what you're buying, just because I was a little bit thrown off with getting two different jackets when I was purchasing the same item. I almost forgot we were going to talk about returns. So I just clicked on my TikTok Shop return policy. It said for most purchases, you have a right to return a product for any reason within 30 calendar days of when you've received it. Some sellers may have different return periods. This is something like AliExpress, like every brand had their own return policy. Sometimes from AliExpress, when they were being shipped from the manufacturer in China directly, you'd be paying a good amount of money to return the product and it wouldn't even be worth it. So let's see if I have any orders I could see if I could process a return. Okay, so I just clicked return on the jacket and wow, okay. It says UPS free drop off, USPS free drop off, no label needed. So I guess you can return these, and that's like a pretty simple return process. So that's actually really good to know, because I was under the impression that I wouldn't be able to return any of these. So I will be returning the jumpsuit. If I have any update on if I like don't get a refund or anything weird like that, I'll update in the comments down below. But if you don't hear anything, just assume that it all went well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you purchased anything from TikTok Shop? Are you still resisting? Have you been buying from a while and you really like it? I'd love to know. And of course, let me know if you have any video requests in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Peach, say goodbye. Say goodbye. Oh my gosh, she literally like raised her little hand. Oh, Peach. Oh, Peach, you're just the cutest.